Welcome to our first Leaders Briefing, where we give you a flavour of headline news from across West London each month. A mix of COVID-19 economic response, as well as some good news stories. Shortly, we'll hear from my colleagues, Sarah Spateri and Bill Boler, who'll share updates from Park Royal and the Great West Creatives Enterprise Zone. The past couple of weeks have seen continued change, from grappling with the ongoing fallout from COVID-19 to the concerns that the brutal killing of George Floyd in the US has raised regarding a fundamental lack of equality overseas, but also for many here in the UK too. As an organisation that champions West London's economic growth whilst pursuing social and environmental sustainability, we are firmly committed to promoting equality and human rights in a civilised society. If there are difficult conversations that need to happen in your organisation regarding how to end racism, we recommend you take a look at resources from the Institute for Corporate Responsibility and Sustainability. All organisations may want to consider signing up to BITC's Race at Work Charter if you haven't already. Almost 3 months into lockdown, and the grim reality is that COVID-19 has hit our West London economy extremely hard. As you can see from the slides on screen, research from PRD showed 4 of our 7 North West London boroughs are in the top 5 worst hit economically in London. Overall, extrapolating from Office for Budget Responsibility national figures to the local context suggests a potential 39% economic contraction locally in Q2 2020. New universal credit claims rose from 6,000 in March to 32,000 in April, and we saw flights at Heathrow down 97% in April. Our response to the crisis thus far has been threefold at West London Business. We launched the West London Business Support Helpline, staffed by volunteers and in partnership with the 7 West London boroughs. It took its first call on the 8th of April, and since then the helpline has made and received over 1,000 calls. Please spread the word about the service, and of course, give the helpline a call yourself if needed. Secondly, we introduced our live webcast series Talk at 10. You can watch previous episodes at any time or register for the next episode on Thursday the 18th of June at 10 AM when we will discuss the future of the High Street. Thirdly, we've been able to engage with and help in convening key partners from local government, City Hall, parliamentarians, further education and higher education to help support a coordinated initial response to the crisis and now planning for the recovery. Let's now hear from my colleague Sarah Spateri, Park Royal Business Group Manager, who will share some headlines from the UK's most successful industrial estate. Good morning, Sarah.
Thank you, Andrew. For Park Royal businesses, as across West London, these are testing times. Across the estate, businesses have had to protect their cash positions, often furlough staff, but also rise to the challenge of supporting the local community, for example, with donations of items to food banks. The most adverse circumstances can bring to the fore the very best of us all, and as usual, Park Royal has risen to the challenge. I have 3 key headlines from Park Royal to share with you this morning. The first is the well-known crisis management leader Judy Smith said that we can always find opportunities in a crisis. It forces a company to examine its policies and its practices. We've seen this in the pivoting of food businesses, whether branching out into home delivery or a plastics company making protective PPE equipment. Park Royal has been at the very forefront of these initiatives. Rapology, Light Initiative, Preedy Glass and Dina Foods, to name but a few, they've all done amazing things to help others, whilst at the same time nurturing and keeping their businesses going. We've also compiled a list with details of all the Park Royal food companies that have now branched out into home delivery. This information is updated regularly and circulated to local residents' associations and community groups. It's called London's Kitchen Delivers. Take a look at it on our West London business website, and if you would like your business to be included, please let me know. Secondly, Park Royal Industrial Estate is constantly changing and evolving to move with the times. So it's now more vital than ever before that we move over to sustainable forms of transport, ideally walking and cycling to work where possible. Details of cycling to work schemes, plus the SUS Trans advice and initiatives to support safer cycling routes, storage and security solutions can be found on our website. And if you are a food business in Park Royal, as over 30% of you are, you will find the business support you need at our regular Focus on Food forums, plus, of course, our Talk at 10 webinars. And thirdly, during these socially distancing times, it is very important to keep in touch as much as we can. It really lifts the spirits. To that end, we're continuing to hold all our events on Microsoft Teams or Zoom, and mostly these are free to attend. The next Park Royal event is the BB Quiz, formerly known as the barbecue, on Thursday, 18th of June at 4:30 p.m. Please contact me if you would like to come and have a chat with other Park Royal businesses. It would be wonderful to see you there. And as always, if you require any support or assistance, connections or new contacts, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me.
Thank you very much for that update, Sarah. From Park Royal, we now turn to the Great West Creatives Enterprise Zone. What's been happening on the Great West Corridor in the past few months, Bill?
Thank you, Andrew. As across West London and like Park Royal, testing times have led to many challenges in the creative industries and the Great West Corridor. We've lost some businesses, but we've also seen some businesses discover new ways of working. Many of our artists have moved online. Gwen Shapka has done a photo series of what the Great West Corridor looks like during the lockdown. Nikki Rolls is doing canvas oil work online of COVID wards and what it looks like during social distancing. The Maker Station has collaborated with EcoWorld to make PPEs. Westmont Hub, Stephen Fry, is working on a virtual reality filming of a theater production, which may help overcome some of the challenges the theaters in our area are having coming back. And the Creative Enterprise Zone, in collaboration with Watermans, is doing a virtual studios project on Instagram at the end of June. So challenging times, but still good news for the creative industries and Great West Corridor as we move forward in these times.
Thank you for that, Bill. So now for some additional good news stories from across the wider West London landscape. West London business members Eurofins Food Testing UK and VDoc have both launched services in recent weeks to support businesses needing support with COVID-19 testing. Segro announced yesterday a 200 million purchase of Perivale Park, a 34-acre urban warehouse estate in Perivale. Alan Holland, Business Unit Director for Segro's Greater London portfolio, said that Perivale Park is a perfect fit, sitting adjacent to the A40 and nestled between Segro's core holdings in Greenford and Park Royal. It offers the business a rare opportunity to build further scale in an area that they already have considerable expertise and knowledge of the local market. It also offers them medium-term development potential in one of London's most supply-constrained industrial clusters. Quell Therapeutics Limited has established its new home at the Translation and Innovation Hub on Imperial College's White City campus. Quell is a life sciences company formed in 2019 to develop therapies for the management and treatment of a range of conditions such as solid organ transplant rejection, autoimmune and inflammatory diseases. And finally, Brompton Bicycles' Wheels for Heroes campaign culminated with a fundraising virtual race in partnership with Sky Sports last Sunday. You can find out more about all those stories on westlondon.com. Looking forward, you may be wondering how West London's local response to the COVID-19 crisis will develop. Right now, Oxford Economics are completing their initial work for our partners at the West London Alliance to understand the full extent of the economic impact and possible responses. In parallel, the boroughs are now rapidly developing a pan-West London recovery plan, and in next month's briefing we'll be able to share what the emerging approach looks like. That brings us to the end of our June Leaders Briefing. Do diarise Thursday the 9th of July at 10 AM for the next briefing, and on the same day we will convene our first virtual summer reception at West London Business at 4:30 in the afternoon. Until next time, we wish you, your friends, family and colleagues good health. And please contact the West London Business team at any time if there are any issues arising from the briefing you'd like to discuss.